You know, there's a saying I was told a long time ago, Ryan. It's that you don't ever want to be the guy replacing a legend. You want to be the guy that replaces the guy that replaced a legend. And Nick Chubb is a legend in this town. Even more so than Joe Flacco. I'm not talking about Jameis Winston. The people think I was talking about Jameis Winston replacing Joe Flacco, the legend of the Cleveland Browns. No. I was talking about Nick Chubb. And with the Browns signing Deontay Foreman yesterday, I know some people want to send the emoji, the eyes, what's going on there. I saw our friend Nick Padone send well, why would they do that? Well, Nick, I'm going to tell you why they did that, because they need some running backs in that room. But, you know, it's an unfortunate thing when we start to think about the future of the Browns without some of your favorite players, without some of our best players. We had to overcome Joe Hayden not playing here anymore. We had to overcome Josh Cribbs not playing here anymore. Joe Thomas. And there's a wave of guys that I don't want to think about the future without David Njoku and Myles Garrett and Joel Bitonio, because Nick Chubb might be the first domino to fall on that. And I do feel like he's going to come back to the Cleveland Browns. And all I've ever wanted with Nick Chubb was an extension so he could play here forever. The signing of Deontay Foreman's not changed anything for me, but it's maybe brought that conversation back up on Chubb's health, his future, what the Browns plan to do. We'll discuss a little of that coming up. We mentioned Jameis Winston. Got a chance to hear from him yesterday on his first media call with the Browns. We'll get to that. Of course, rest all the conspiracy theories about where he was maybe going to go. No, he's here. He's a Cleveland Brown. He's already taking snaps with Luke Whippler in his suit. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? Jameis seems to have one of those, like, personalities, like, to use a line from Jarvis Landry, it's a little contagious. You know, you hear the excitement. You hear him talk about being here and being a professional football player. So I think he's already ingratiated himself to this town, but some of the things he said fits right in line with why he's here. Cavs. That was frustrating on the Cavs last night. We'll discuss that a little bit. JB Bickerstaff, man. Dude. Getting threats from people. We'll discuss that. The Ohtani stuff is out there. Day one of the tournament, man. And boy, do we have an exciting thing for you to be a part of to win some bets with Tipico. Time up, grid, morning update, and our bracket. We got it all on the first day of the tournament right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. We got a lot. I have to start with our Tipico square. So this, and you have what? 3 hours to get these in?
3 hours. So I would put it up there. We got some already filled in there, but plenty to go, baby. So
here's what I would say. I retweeted it at Matt Fontana 83. It's at Matt Fontana Show. Dave has got it. Reflog is the big tweet. So here's what you have to do. Go to Reflog's Twitter, and him and his 500,000 followers are not hard to find him. So you find Reflog. Here's what you do. He has a tweet up of squares with our friends at Tipico. What you have to do is respond with a bet slip of at least $25 on Tipico. The heck could be that could be bonus bets that you get when you sign up.
There you go.
You sign up right now with code Fontana1. Now damn it, your game has to complete. Go bet on the baseball game right now. Put $25 on the baseball game. Your bet, the game that you bet on completes, you will hopefully win your bet, but you also get that $25 or the $100 in bonus bets for new customers when you use that code Fontana100. What you do, you respond to Reflog's tweet with your bet slip. $25 gets you 1 square, $50 gets you 3 squares, $100 bet slip gets you 5 squares. And then you're put in the square for every single game. We will play it out on what number you get, and we're going to be giving away over $600 in bet credits every single game.
Matt, you're quite literally betting money as you normally would.
Right.
And beyond that, you have a chance to get just free bet credits.
So a parlay, it doesn't matter.
Literally zero downside.
Think about this. Put $25. Okay, so here's the thing.
Is there any live tennis going on right now?
No, that's the thing. That's to get to the bonus bets. If you already have Tipico bets or you just want to put your $25 in, how about this? You haven't signed up for Tipico yet. Deposit and bet $25 on whatever game you want. You'll get your $100 when that game ends with the code Fontana100. Just show Reflog that $25 bet. Put it on UNC just to win.
Yeah.
Put it on a big favorite, and then you are now in the squares to potentially pick up even more bet credits.
Matt, that title game, if your square gets picked, Tipico's giving you a free $100 bet credit.
I mean, come on. Again, you're already betting with Tipico. We tell you about the cashback rewards. They're the best. We love them very much. Get in on this. I retweeted it, but we got a couple hours to go to get these squares. Now, can we fill squares in later? And you just miss those
I would
credits?
imagine.
So again, just get those credits going. Follow it at Reflog. We've retweeted our channels as well. And get going with our friends at Tipico. Get signed up for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch some of that. And we do have a watch party going on. So
when your bracket busts in the first 3 games.
That's where the square. I think that's why people like the squares better. I think that's why people like the squares better. So we'll get to that coming up. We'll remind people throughout the show. Of course, none of the games start while we're on. They start at noon today.
I'm so happy about that. Like, we get to get off the air and then go watch.
Yeah, and you sit down, watch some games. You have the Octobox uppers. I'm shocked, by the way, and I don't know if this is a thing. Do they have a channel that has all the games like Red Zone?
They
have to somewhere. They have to somewhere. We got our brackets in. We're good to go. Rocking it out there with Tipico, so we thank them for that. The squares are going to be awesome with Tipico. We start with the Browns running back room, and the signing of Deontay Foreman yesterday, it does nothing for me. That does not make me look somewhere else. That doesn't make me look to try to say, all right, well, what does that mean for Nick Chubb's future? Is he more injured than we thought? I think he's coming in to fill in a role. I think it's very specifically the Kareem Hunt role. And there were some stats about Foreman, about really how effective he can be in his career. When he gets carries, he puts up yards. The thing last year was touchdowns. I think he only had like 300 rushing yards, but he had like 5 touchdowns last year. So that's a little of your maybe Kareem Hunt short yardage type of role. And as the Browns enter this season, Jerome Ford is another guy a lot of people have had conversations about. You signed Naheem Hines, so I think, again, fits a very specific role of catching the ball in the backfield. I liked Pierre Strong when I saw him in spurts, and John Kelly has kind of been with... Dude, John Kelly's been with this team for like 5 years.
Yeah, he has.
And he's just been on the practice squad up and down. The Browns need another back. And what they're trying to do is see what life after Nick Chubb looks like. And I don't like that world. I don't think anybody does. But you have this situation... I don't believe Nick Chubb's going to be ready to go for the first month of the season. He'll start probably on PUP, and you get him back maybe even mid-season. It might not even just be the 4 weeks. It might be longer. So what did the Browns do? They took a page out of every other running back room in the NFL. You got 2 or 3 guys that play specific roles, and we are going to committee the hell out of this running back room. I'm not crazy. You're not crazy. I'd rather have a fully healthy Nick Chubb because he does all of that. He is a committee unto himself on what he can do when he carries the football. He's not here. You're going to get a little taste of what the rest of the NFL is doing. You're going to get a little taste of what, again, the future, unfortunately, might be without Nick Chubb. It's a committee thing. Nick Chubb, not here. Jerome Ford, going to get a bulk of the carries, I would think. Hines on third down. Foreman's here as your third down back, or not third down back, short yardage back. Pick up some touchdowns. You need 2 yards on a third down. That's what they did. And I like that move. I think that's a fine move. But man, I feel like it's slipping away of my goal. I feel like my dream of Nick Chubb getting an extension and playing here for another 3 years. I don't know why, Ryan. I think it's slipping away. And it's, again, not about the Foreman signing. They still have to restructure this deal, which I think they will. They're under salary cap right now. Free that up. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that more than anything. Because is it simply a 1-year restructure? Or, again, my dream of a 3-year extension to spread the money out and then Nick Chubb can play here? The ultimate question is, do you feel like Nick Chubb is going to get back to a semblance of himself? I would like to leave the door open, then he gets back to 100%. I don't know that. That was a devastating knee injury. I know he had one at Georgia. That was 6 years ago. More than that, right?
Yeah.
Even more than that. A long time ago. Younger guy. I hope so much that he comes back. And 80% of Nick Chubb is still an elite running back. And that's what I hope the Browns can get. I don't know why, Ryan. I just think it's my dream's slipping away a little bit here.
So what makes you feel like, because I know we talked about this a month ago, and we haven't really brought it back up since because we haven't had much moves, obviously. No real news about Nick Chubb has come out. And
They could be talking numbers.
Yeah, but
they could be. The Browns are getting progress reports on Nick. I don't know where he is. I'm assuming that they're talking to his trainers and his doctors and all that kind of stuff. Maybe they want more of that information. I'm sure maybe Nick Chubb wants more of that information. I don't know.
If you're a betting man, I think the smart bet that you would do here is to bet that, he's not going to come back and be 100% Nick Chubb. I mean, not only did you have that injury at Georgia, which was, like you talked about, almost a decade ago. Which
is crazy, man?
That's nuts to think about in itself. But, that injury was one of the most gruesome I've seen. But if I do have to give the benefit of the doubt to anybody, it's going to be a guy like Nick Chubb, who I've seen overcome so many things in his career and still be so elite. And it does suck that you're going to lose a player that had that much to do with your offense. We saw how much our running game declined when he went out there, when we had to roll out with Pierce Strong, Ford, and Kareem Hunt. But at the end of the day, either the Foreman comes in, you got your short yardage back, you got Nyheim Hines, you got a pass catcher, and you got Jerome Ford, who you still kind of hope to have a future with. You're going to see what you have.
Some people are trying to get all these hot takes on Jerome Ford, and I don't understand it.
I think it's because he hasn't done too much in his first 2 years here, but at the same time, he was behind Nick Chubb.
An elite.
You're comparing apples to oranges.
That's kind of where I started by saying, we need to start right away to say that you can't just find Nick Chubbs out there. You just can't find a guy like him. So as I watched the first part of this season, realizing that really it's more on Watson. In today's NFL, you got to throw. But I'm going to watch to see what it looks like with the running back by committee. And maybe it works. And maybe that gives you a little bit of hope that, okay, we can survive this. And then I just come back to, okay, we'll just plug Nick Chubb back into that committee. What if you just had him plug back into this committee, maybe a few less carries for him as he just ages and gets older and things like that? I want him on this team so badly. And I know Andrew Berry can't operate that way. He has got to look at cold hard facts, cold hard dollars, and allocate them as he sees fit. This is the one that I've always asked, just give this one to us. Just give this one to us. Where if the dollars don't ever make sense in 2026, I'm okay with that. Now, I can be okay with that. Andrew Berry can't. He's got to look at the dollars and say, is every single thing allocated? And then the ultimate question, and this is an unfair question, but the Browns have to ask this. Do they want Nick Chubb here in 3 years? This year he's here. One way or another, I think. I hope, God please. And Barry said it. He goes, nobody wants to see that be his last carrier for the Browns. The answer, when you strip away everything, emotion, fandom, and what he's meant to this team, the answer is no. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. That the easy and probably correct answer is that a running back, even as elite as Nick is, coming off that knee injury for his age, in 3 years, you don't see him being a part of your team.
I mean,
and I just like
we don't see running backs stay with teams like we do quarterbacks.
No, and then
right?
you don't see these guys getting paid or anything.
It doesn't happen. Deonta Foreman's coming to the Browns, Matt. Let me see if you know this. Drafted in 2017. What number team will the Browns be for him in his career? He's drafted in 2017.
Ooh, that's an immaculate grid S thing. Okay, so obviously Carolina. Was he in Atlanta?
Wait, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Nick Chubb was 18, right?
Yeah, Nick Chubb was 18.
Okay, so this guy was only drafted 1 year before Nick Chubb. And tell me what number team will be the Browns? 7.
7.
Will be his seventh team. We don't see running backs stay with these teams. I mean, running backs now are struggling to get a second deal.
Yeah.
Saquon just went to the Eagles. I mean, Austin Eckler's gone to the Commanders. Derrick Henry was kind of that last fit of the mold with Derrick Henry. He was there forever.
He's the most comparable to Nick
Chubb.
Chubb.
Power back running, put your head down and
for a franchise where like an identity of that franchise.
And the reality is that
might
be the last we see of running backs being these real longevity with these teams.
Well, I think longevity paid, all of that is a thing, and that's where I'm asking the Browns to do the wrong thing here and break the mold and keep him here. The question is, and I don't know if you want to post this, Ryan, you're on the Twitter here. Do you have a fear that this is Nick Chubb's final year with the Cleveland Browns? Do you have a fear that this is his final year with the Browns? And I think, again, for the one side of it, the money, the position, the answer is, yeah, this is it. And I say fear because that's not what any of us want. That's not what any of us want. And that is part of sports. Your favorite player eventually is going to hang it up. one way or another. They're going to leave your team or they're going to retire. It is the cycle of sports. Now, the fun thing is you find new players, and there's new guys that you find you gravitate towards and you love them and all that kind of stuff. I guess I just didn't want to see it. I don't want to see it end this early. I don't want to see it end this way. Like, there's so much that he has meant to this town, and it's not official. Like, I'm also speaking like this is an absolute, that this is not going to happen. They could come out this afternoon and say, you know what, we have signed Nick Chubb to an extension. We want to keep him around here for everything that he means. And Chubb, I'm assuming, is going to play ball with that. There's always, got to remember that too. There's another side to Nick that his agent, and I want him to take care of himself. If the deal, if the Browns even pursue a deal with this, if it doesn't make sense for him or if he thinks he can get it elsewhere, that's the business part of the game. The other easy out with this is to see how he returns and see what he's got left, knowing that franchise tag for running backs is nothing. And with all the built up, cachet, so to speak, all the emotion, all that, they could work out a deal. I'm sure they would. If Nick Chubb comes back sometime in November, October, and he's back to his old self, I can sign him a deal in December. Sign him right after the season. I'm all for that. See how some of these other things shake out. I guess I shouldn't be closing the door as much as I am. But it's the signing of Foreman, again, I don't think that changes anything for what they needed to do. You're going to get a view of what this team is with what the rest of the NFL is doing for the elite teams, right? Okay. The 49ers are a little bit different because they got Christian McCaffrey, okay? But the vast majority, what was Miami doing? What was the Eagles doing? Even what the Chiefs were doing. Yeah. They found Isaiah Pacheco, and they still mix in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Some teams like the Ravens and the Bills, they just have their quarterback run all the live long day because they don't have running backs.
No, the days of the Adrian Petersons, of the Marshall Folks.
It's over.
The Emmitt Smiths, it's over. It's long gone.
It's over.
It's long gone.
I asked the Browns to even do it a different way because we were a running team. Do you add Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb? I had this conversation with people before last year. Did you ever feel like the Hunt and Chubb thing took off the way you thought it would? You basically had 1 year.
1 year it did.
1 year it was. And it was like Nick with like 1,100, Kareem at 800 rushing yards, something like that. But you're actually at a detriment if you try to do that. The NFL doesn't want you running the football. They want you throwing. So you better have quarterbacks. You better have receivers. That's the way the game is set up right now. So I did ask the Browns to go against the grain with that. And even then, it was semi-successful. It just brings it all up. And I got it. I have this, I guess, fear like anything. I just hate this so much. I hate it. And I'm going to take Andrew Berry at his word. I believe him when he says that carry in Pittsburgh is not going to be the last one that we ever see. That's not going to be it. But I want more. I would love more. I would love to sign Nick Chubb to an extension. That's not my money. I'm not counting it. Our Twitter question is up at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow on Twitter. If you're new to the show, first off, welcome. We appreciate you very much. Drop us a follow on Twitter. We're up on Instagram, Matt Fontana Show. We are on Twitch as well, at Matt Fontana Show. So we got all that coming up with Nick Chubb. We'll kind of talk through that as the morning goes on with Chubb. I did want to flip over and hear from Jameis Winston. So he got introduced to the media yesterday. It became official. I know there were some people... Jack Duffin from OBR, and he was like, it was just interesting that, Jameis hadn't signed yet, whatever. He's here. He's already taking snaps with Luke Whippler. The other thing I loved from yesterday, I'm a sucker as a dad now, man. That picture of Tyler Huntley with his baby, that stuff gets to me. I don't know why. It just does. Like, I'm so happy for him and his family. They're here. But Jameis was introduced yesterday as well. A couple of things I thought was interesting because it just, Ryan, it lines up exactly with what we were talking about, the reason that Winston is here and not Flacco. First off, Jameis Winston was asked about his relationship with Deshaun Watson. Here's Jameis says in an introductory press conference yesterday, sound courtesy of the Browns.
Just the most important thing, I believe, is the relationship between me and Deshaun is in a place where it will continue to grow and flourish. And I just admire him as a person and definitely as a football player. I look forward to allowing him to lean on me for anything that he needs, and also encouraging him and providing him with different resources that he probably hasn't gotten for people that have been in the same room.
Then I also want to run right into what is he bringing? Jameis Winston yesterday. What is he bringing to the Browns, to that quarterback room, and also to Deshaun Watson? Here's Jameis Winston, sound courtesy of the Browns.
So I've experienced some of the certain things that he's experienced throughout his career, which allows him to be able to depend on me or to lean on me to different specific avenues that he might want to pursue or any questions that he might have. But one of the biggest things that I'm bringing to Deshaun is just really support and encouragement, because he has achieved so much, and that's why he is this organization's franchise quarterback. But as a lot of us know, like, we all make this ship go.
Ship, by the way, is what he said. I know we're allowed to do whatever we want, but he said ship. What did you hear there from Jim? I want to ask you, what did you hear? Because I think we all heard the same thing. What did you hear there from Jameis Winston?
I like what I heard from him.
I love it.
Yeah.
But what was the kind of common message there?
I think that he came and he accepted. He knows that he's going to be the backup.
I'm in this role to help Deshaun.
He knows that it's
I'm
all
in
about
this
Deshaun.
role to help Deshaun Watson.
Sounds like he's happy to do it.
And again, I'm not saying that Flacco wouldn't have done that. I'm not saying that they couldn't have coexisted. By the way, did you see that picture yesterday of his autograph session? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Line out for Flacco. He did a thing at Topgolf. He had something else. Charging for, and again, that's fine, whatever. Autograph, dude, the line was insane. Bomani Jones retweeted. He goes, he doesn't even play there anymore. Does Bomani know that we'd pay money for a lot of players that don't play here anymore and line? I'll tell you this, if Steve Hyden had an autograph session, I'd pay $50. Steve Hyden's my favorite Browns player of all time. Do you even know who Steve Hyden is?
Nope.
Of course not. Of course not. He's a tight end. So a little, I played tight end growing up, so that was it. But my favorite thing about Steve Hyden was the second game that I ever went to. So Browns-Bengals game. So me and my brother went with my uncle. My two uncles took my brother and I, and then my dad was in other seats with our other. I have 4 brothers, so we have a lot. So we're sitting in this thing, my Uncle Jerry and my Uncle Jamie, and we're like, they're like nice seats, they're like club seats. And it was a crappy game. I don't even remember what year. And it was snowing, and it was all late season game against the Bengals. Probably losing. And Steve Hyden catches this ball in the flat, and he turns up. And when I tell you, Ryan, that he trucked the soul out of some defender for the Bengals and picked up like another 5 yards, I go, that's it. He's my favorite player. That's it. He's my favorite player. I have a Steve Hyden jersey. I have his autograph on a hat. So Steve Hyden hasn't played here in almost 20 years, right?
I don't know who I'd say my favorite player is, Matt.
Of all time?
Yeah.
Of all time?
I mean, certainly we're different eras.
No, I am of the era of the 90s, since 1999, but even like the 2000s teams.
I'm Josh Cribbs post.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Josh is beloved. Hayden, Joe Thomas. And again, I think that's the thing about this Browns team. There are a lot of beloved players on this
Peyton
team.
Hillis.
Yeah, that's a good one. Peyton Hillis. Of course. Captivated this town, man. Of course he did. And so it's talking about Flacco with the autograph line there. Like, we do that for a lot of players. I think we do that for a good chunk of players. But back to Winston, he knows the game. He knows why he's here. And I think he did speak a little bit later about some of the experiences that they've had, and I give Mary Kay Cabot a lot of credit. She asked a tough question. She goes, you've had off-the-field issues just like Deshaun. Different scenarios, certainly. And Jameis said, hey, man, we learn, we grow, we're together in this. But I think there's so many connections more with Jameis Winston and Deshaun Watson. That's why he's here.
I mean, this is also a guy who was a first overall pick. Well, I know he won the national championship. I'm not sure if he won Heisman. I can't remember. It was Mariota.
I thought Jameis won a...
Either way, this was a first overall pick who relatively, I don't want to say has had a failed career.
Yeah, he won the Heisman in 2013.
But for what his expectations were as a national champion, as a Heisman, as a first overall pick, I think his career didn't necessarily pan out the way many people thought it might.
Yeah, no.
So he's been a kind of a journeyman with, started with the Buccaneers as Saints. He's a guy who I think does, as you mentioned, have a lot of parallels to Deshaun Watson. I'm sure by this point in their career, they would think that they would have accomplished more. So I think it is a good thing to have Jameis Winston there as the backbone to talk to Deshaun Watson. And if anything, just have somebody to relate to. I think it's a great move.
Well, that, again, it's part of the reason why he's here, not Flacco. Can I run through some Heisman winners for you and how there was a bad streak of Heisman winners that weren't very good in the NFL?
Sure.
Sam Bradford in 08. Mark Ingram was fine in 09. Cam, good, 10. RG3, 11. Johnny 12, Jameis 13, Mariota 14, Derrick Henry just fine at 15. 16 was Lamar. I'd say things worked out for him as well. But then really starting with Derrick Henry in 15, then you started getting guys that have actually turned out to be good NFL players. Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Baker, Kyler, Joe Burrow, Devontae Smith, Bryce Young. We'll see.
To be determined. Well, it's because it's a quarterback award, man.
But I'm just saying that era of like Jameis and Marcus, Mariota and Manziel and RG3, how he won that over Andrew Luck, I still do not know. Back in 11, man. He only won it with 60% of the votes. Mark Ingram only won it with 47%. That's got to be the lowest. In years where guys usually win it with 90s, Mark Ingram won it with just 47% of the vote. Yeah. I want to look here. 2009. Oh, can I get the Heisman? Oh, the draft. That's where it is. I want to know the 2009 Heisman voting. Heisman voting. I just indulge me for a second, if you will. All right, I'll give you $1,000 if you can name who finished second.
In 2009?
2009. So here's how it goes. The total number. Mark Ingram got 1,300 of the vote. Again, total votes. This guy in second got 1,276. So Ingram only won it by like 30-some spots. And then third place had 1,100. So it was close.
Can you tell me this at least? This was the second place guy at quarterback?
No, he was also a running back.
In 2009?
Yeah. Again, I don't think you're going to get this. This is a name of the way past. This guy also didn't really pan out in the NFL.
Yeah, so he's obviously not still in the NFL.
Yeah, no, way gone.
Way gone.
All these guys are all way gone, pretty much. Well, not the guy in third. Not the quarterback in third. So in the 2009 Heisman voting, Mark Ingram won it. This guy in second was a running back. Then a quarterback was in third.
Can I get the conference?
Yeah, sure. Pac-12.
2009.
I don't know if this would help you, but you mentioned Peyton Hillis. There is a little comparison between this guy and Peyton Hillis.
Are they both white?
White running backs.
Look at that. It's a dying breed.
Yeah.
White running back.
You'll never. I don't think you'll ever get it.
Yeah, probably not.
Have you ever heard of Toby Gerhart?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, Toby Gerhart finished. Remember that year he had for Stanford? How about this? He had 1,800 yards and 28 touchdowns.
Where'd he go to school?
Stanford. And then third, our old friend, Colt McCoy, finished third that year. Sorry, we got into Heisman's talking about Jameis. Who did Jameis beat out? Didn't he beat out Mariota?
Yeah.
Because he was in it again. All right, 10. All right, 10 was Cam. No, I'm sorry. Cam was the one that beat out Lloyd. Cam beat Luck and LaMichael James. Dude, LaMichael James was so good at Oregon. 2011, RG3, Luck second again. And then Trent Richardson finished third. 2012, Manziel over Manti Te'o. That's right. And then 2013, Jameis Winston ran away with it. Jameis Winston won it with 80% of the vote as a freshman. Second was A.J. McCarron. Jordan Lynch of Northern Illinois finished third that year to Jameis Winston, who won it. So again, I think he's back. I think he's here as that exact replacement. And there's something to be said about him knowing his role, playing the role. That's good. He might have to play. I know people don't like the interceptions. There's a reason he's a backup. I get all of that. But he's in line. And again, it's making it sound like I think Joe Flacco would have been a head case or been a problem if he'd have been here. There's a comfortability factor there with Deshaun Watson, and I'm sorry, it is what it is, whether you like it or not. That's why he's here. All right, we got a lot to get to. There's more NFL. I want to get to this crazy stuff about them trying to outlaw this tackling. We'll get to that in the morning update. But we got to talk some Cavs when we return as well. Again, the late game execution of mistakes from the Cavs, the turnovers, this thing about JB Bickerstaff, which is absolutely insane. And we got to talk Shohei Ohtani this morning as well. That reeks of cover-up conspiracy. If you don't know that story, we'll dive into all of it coming up. But folks, got to remind you again about our Squares with Tipico. What you do this morning, place a $25 bet on whatever you want for the college basketball tournament. You then screenshot that, go to Reflog on Twitter, show a $25 bet, and you get a square into our NCAA tournament. $50 gets you 3 squares, $100 gets you 5 squares. And the thing is, you could win those bets. You place those bets on whatever you want. Place it on UNC to win. Place it on the biggest favorite that you can find. As long as the bet is there, you get in for the squares. And we're going to be giving away money, or bonus bets, excuse me, not money, but bonus bets every single game. Every single game. So you could really be doubling up. And again, if you use the code Fontana100, you haven't signed up for Tipico yet, do it right now. You have to place a $25 bet anyway to get the $100 in bonus bets. How about use that $25, code Fontana100, you'll get your bonus bets when your game ends, then use that same slip and enter our squares competition. That's a win-win-win for everybody. The imperfect parlay, which we've told you about, you can set a 7, 8, 10, 12, 14 leg parlay. And if you only want 8 of 10 to hit, if you only want 11 of 14 to hit, you can do that with the imperfect parlay and still cash. Sonny Gupta joins us from Tipico. Ryan, he told us that the imperfect parlay was created for the NCAA tournament. That's why we're here today doing it with the imperfect parlay. Cashback rewards are great. Tipico is awesome. Sign up. Again, double up, triple up when you can right now with us. Fontana100 is the code. Get signed up today. All right, we got some Cavs to talk about. Late game execution. JB getting threatened, man. It's unfortunately the world that we live in, which is just insane. We'll discuss all of it. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
That's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yep.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone, and at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today, all right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Tipico Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
Cavs last night. Sorry, we're talking bet and Tipico here. We got to get going here, man. Some people out there with some large weight. You don't need that much. $25 gets you in our squares with Tipico.
I just officially placed my first wager with Tipico. I bet Mississippi State money line.
You were on that Mississippi State, Michigan State game, man.
I was totally riding high with it. I was gonna do it,
You know
and
what?
then
You're
Sonny
right.
came on. Sonny came on and confirmed what I already thought. So I was like, all right, hands down, gotta bet it. That's the same dude who he said he placed his largest a couple months back. Said he placed his largest wager on Michigan to win the championship,
And he's
anymore.
a Michigan.
I know he's a
fan.
Michigan guy, but he's a
Michigan
sportsbook
fan.
manager. I don't think he lets his fandom get in the way of his betting.
All right, Mississippi State plus 100, plus 100 on the money line.
Yep.
All right, I'm in. I'll join you.
I really got a good feeling on that.
Sure. And that kicks off at noon, 12:15 with all our bets right
That's
there.
what I'm saying. It's like you got to bet the first game. You have to.
Nah, you got to get in because we'll be sitting there. Again, I'm not a big college basketball fan, but I will be tuned in all this afternoon as we're getting geared up and going. To the pro side of things, Cavs, dude, man, did you need that game last night? The Bucks were without Giannis. They lose. You went from potentially being tied for the 2 seed with a win to now you're only a game up on the Knicks for 4. 107-104. There are just times that the Cavs just like go away, and I don't know where they go. And listen, I've been critical of Darius Garland. He showed up in the second half, okay? He hit some big shots, that 4-pointer. I think he had 5 points at halftime, and he finished with 20, okay? Jared Allen is a beast. His third career 2020 game with the Cavs. Did you know who was on that list, by the way? Andre Drummond.
I mean, that
what an era that was. He was here for, what, 6 months? Remember that streak that he was?
There's just certain people that are magnets.
Insane. I can't remember. Whoever has the record has 4. And I'm talking about 2020. 20 points, 20 rebounds.
You know who I wouldn't be? It's probably Kevin Love. In
I don't think
Minnesota, that dude was a
was.
2020 machine.
Oh, I know, but I don't think he ever did that here as much.
I'll look it up.
Look it up.
Oh, you're talking about just for Cavs.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I'm talking about for the Cavs.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Cavs history of the most 2020 games. Jared Allen has 3 with last night, and he joined a list of like 3 or 4 guys. Andre Drummond was 1, which made me laugh. The record holder is 4, and I can't remember who it was.
According to StatHead, this was Jared Allen's 5th career 2020 game.
5th
third
career,
as a Cavalier.
third as a Cavalier.
He's now he's now tied with wow. If you could get this, Matt.
I know it's a crazy list, right?
He's now tied with Andre Drummond, and I've never heard of this dude. Elmore Smith.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
for the second most 2020 games. Oh,
who's got the most?
I've never heard of this guy either. Cliff Robinson.
Okay, that's right. Yeah, because it was named that. It's not Z. You'd think maybe Doherty or something like that, but it wasn't. So he'll probably get that eventually one day. So you got a great game out of Allen. You got a really good game out of George Niang again.
I'm just saying, ever since he popped up on the Big Play Cleveland show, he's been playing.
He's turning
well.
around a lot. Our guy Isaac Okoro, man. We just missed a big boost on him yesterday. The over got a little dicey there, but hit.
Okoro's got to be first team all defense, right?
Dude, he was on Jimmy Butler. I mean, you see Jimmy come up the floor, and Jimmy had 30, but last night you lost to Scary Terry.
Yeah, but
Terry
are going to make shots
now,
now every now and
then. I mean,
then.
come on, man. He was lights out last night. That 3 that he hit late, you deserve to lose at that point. You're going to hit that shot, man. Okay, you're going to win. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, Isaac's defense has been very solid. What I'm angry about is we took him for over. He needed 2 threes. Yeah. He hit a 3 on like the second possession. Was it last night? First or second possession? And then he didn't hit another one. Anyway, that's our bets on tip.
Matt, real quick, go retweet that Nick Chubb question.
Oh, okay, sorry. Up at Matt Fontana.
That's an interesting one. I want to know what the people think.
I mean, it's the fear of, like, I hope not. But it's like, are you going to look at it objectively or what you want? So that's up at Matt Fontana 83 at Matt Fontana Show. For the Cavs last night, it just comes back to some late game execution, some bad mistakes. I will say this. I thought the Heat played a sloppy game. And you had guys getting teed up. The refs last night were atrocious. And I appreciate the Cavs stepping up to say, we're not going to let this go. Well, they had 3 tees last night, Niang, JB, and Garland. We talked about toughness. Ryan, do you feel like that is an element of toughness? When we talk so much about, you think about guys in the post and their elbowing and all that. I'm talking about maybe some toughness with the refs to be like, dude, this is bull crap.
We saw it from him last night, a couple tacks.
I know. Maybe they needed that. Like, I'm not going to. You know me and Garland. And somebody told me maybe JB has heard what I've said. Okay. I love JB Bickerstaff. I think he's a really good coach. And I like Darius Garland. I do. It's just some of these games, I want more. And you could be screaming. Ryan, in the first half, last night, 7 assists, 0 turnovers for Darius Garland. What else would you want? What else would you want? Then he found his shot in the second half. Maybe I'm box scoring it up here. Because I say 20 points, that's it.
But basketball is the easiest thing to box score.
I know, but it's like I look at it, I go, I needed 25, I needed 30 out of Darius. That is the frustration for me. Is like and it's not that I want the Cavs to lose and just Darius Garland put up a bunch of points. That's not what I want. I just think with Donovan Mitchell being out, the two leading scorers on this team have got to be Jared Allen and Darius Garland, and I want to live in a world that Garland's outscoring Jared Allen.
I don't know if he's that guy, man.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think he's that guy.
I don't know.
I don't think he's that guy.
And the thing is, I want him to make this a really, really, really hard decision for the Cavs when they sit down this offseason and decide, what the hell are we going to do? What are they going to do? You can listen to people across the national media, listen to insiders, and a lot of what I get, Ryan, is the Cavs aren't even and I'm not saying they have to make a decision today. They don't know. But that clock is ticking. It all starts with Donovan Mitchell. What he does with the Cavs extension or not will frame on what you do with everybody else. But I just am I being unfair to Darius Garland? Tell me if I am, please.
I don't think you are being unfair. Okay. Listen, this is the guy you gave the money to. You basically handed him the keys that, listen, you were going to be our guy, our point guard for the next, we hope, next decade, right? Obviously, when Donovan Mitchell's here, he's going to be the number one option. Right. He's a superstar that's going to lead you to a title, hopefully. Without him, reality is you don't really have a shot with this, how this Cavs team's built because of how Evan Mobley hasn't really ascended. Jared Allen has grown into his own here this season, and I hope he takes that Knicks series last year and keeps this up in the playoffs and really shows out. And you're right, he's entering that territory now. You can't even entertain trading him.
You have to extend him. He's extension eligible, even on the deal that he's on right now. He is extension eligible this offseason. And with the politics and the optics of the NBA, I think you have to offer him a deal. You do.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And as long as the money makes sense, he's going to sign it. The positive thing on the Cavs, okay, Strus, solid deal. Niang, okay deal, right? And then you still have Sam Merrill. Like, you found some guys because as the NBA goes, it's no different than any other sport. You got your star guys cashing in, but you really need your mid-level to lower-tier guys to step up and play. And with this new CBA, the mid-level guys are the ones that just got throttled, right? It cuts so much money. Where there were guys that were benched, 6 Men of the Year candidates, they were signing $60 million deals. They were signing insane deals to be first or second guy off the bench. Those days are gone. The big chunk is going to your stars. Your mid-level are still there, not taking the money they used to. So I think the Cavs mid and lower level are fine. It's what are you going to do with your, I don't want to say top heavy, but what are you going to do? You can't keep all these guys. And it's a debate that keeps coming back. And I watched games like last night. I tried so much to stay away from, I don't want to rip on Darius Garland. I don't. It's a reality of the situation that we're in. And I know he's also, and the other question is he playing out of position? Which is crazy because you say he is a point guard. But did he just fall into the Donovan's going to run point now?
I mean, there were times in just yesterday's game, I swear Karras was taking up. Darius was in the corner.
Karras brings it up. There's some offensive sets that I like when Karras brings it up. There are some, and I'm not even talking about that Niang 2 at the end because JB talked about that. He said we had a play drawn up and they took it away from us. So Niang had to take the 2 to try to extend the game out even with only 3 seconds to go. It is what it is. But I'm like, there's some offensive sets, man. And again, do you remember that one with Garland? That it was like they tried to set a screen up top. They were not kicking it out to Okoro was just standing in the corner the whole time. And then Garland got to like a 6-foot runner that just went straight up and didn't even get close to the rim. And I was like, what the hell was that? You used up the entire shot clock to take a contested 6-foot floater? The sets just don't seem crisp. And maybe it is because Garland is running the point as opposed to Donovan Mitchell. I don't know. But then I talk about maybe Darius is just your 2. Last night you see some of the shooting where like, okay, that's what you need. Splashing some threes. That's what I think the best case for the Cavs. Mitchell is your point. Darius is your shooter. And I'm saying that they can't flip-flop from time to time going down the court, but maybe that's what the Cavs are truly missing. I do read into you missed a giant opportunity yesterday, man. Giant. This is going to get really close. The Knicks are coming. Whatever you believe about the 76ers, because now it's kind of turned into you just want to avoid. The 76ers aren't going to get up to the 3 seed. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you might want to avoid where they're at. I'd take a first-round matchup with almost anybody down on the lower half except the 76ers. Even watching the Heat last night, and I know they have a litany of injuries too, and Bam didn't play in that game. I feel good in a 7-game series against them. I feel in a 7-game series against the Pacers, I feel good. The Magic feeling good. 76ers you want to avoid. So now this fight is on for the Knicks, the Cavs, and the Bucks. You had one to catch, man. You had one to catch them last night, and do you feel like the Cavs lost that game last night or the Heat won it? That's such a sportsy, cliche topic. It doesn't even sound good coming out.
I don't know, man.
But it's like, I just need the Cavs' late-game execution to show. I feel like they're lost late in the game. And it's probably because they're looking and they go, where's Mitchell? Can I just throw him the ball? Like, where's Donovan? Just get him the ball, and we'll be fine. He ain't out there, man.
Yeah, no, Donovan's the only one you can trust.
He ain't out there. JB, after the game, said something that I think is just such a sad state of where we're at. He has received threats. His family has been threatened by people betting money. And I want to make this very clear. I bet, Ryan bets, we love Tipico. There is no world that I would ever think about calling a player or calling a coach, let alone sending death threats. And it's unfortunate that social media on the rise that you have seen. Remember when Myles Garrett got those DMs with horrible words in there because he didn't play well? This stuff needs to be investigated. These people need to be found out. The thing that I've always said about social media, and he's talking about his phone number. They somehow got his phone number. You need to track these people down and hold them accountable. For social media, you should have to put in your address. Because if you get on there and you start sending hateful, horrible messages to people, I want to show up on your doorstep and not even necessarily reprimand you. I want your spouse to know that you're the kind of person that does that. I want your employer to know that you are the kind of person that's going to jump into DMs and send the N-word to people or call JB Bickerstaff and threaten to kill him. This is absolutely insane. You need to find these people because they don't deserve. It's like they don't deserve to be in our society. To be honest with you, I just want them to be held accountable. That's all I ever want. People that hide. Oh, it's just words. No. I want accountability for this. I want these people found, and I don't know what legal precedent there could be. I don't know. Assault, whatever. There is no room for this. And something has to be. And I know it's been going on for a little while because it's been social media and people they feel like, oh, keyboard warrior, man. Do whatever you want. Even the job that we do, I get hate messages all the time. Not to that level, but still, it's like that. It makes me so sad. Over a bet. And again, 1-800-GAMBLER. If you have a problem, if you get that upset over money that you bet, first off, maybe you're just not a good betting person. And dude, I tell you, there's people, I can become a professional bettor. Oh, yeah, just put $1,000 here, put the mortgage over here. I don't need to pay my car payment this month. I'll just go ahead and put it on this game over here. Because, Ryan, if I win it, then I can pay next month's car payment. And that is the slippery slope and the very dangerous side of betting. We do it recreationally, casually. You know what I lost on that? I didn't even lose. I actually cashed on that game last night. That's fine. I lose $5 to $10 to $15 on a bet. Here and there. I'm not betting thousands of dollars. I'm not betting my kid's college fund on this. And the sad thing is, there are degenerates out there that do that. And then they feel like taking it out on a coach that did what? Didn't put a player in so he could get a rebound? With betting being as mainstream as it is, I still feel like we are so behind on some areas of it, right? The help for people, and you got to reach out for help first, number one. And there's a lot of great places that you can do that. But this kind of stuff, it can't happen. This cannot happen. And people might be saying, I'm overreacting to this, or it's not a big deal. No, it is. It is. You want to know what? I appreciate JB saying it, because he could have just internalized this and not let it go. Because sometimes when you turn a light on it, then it becomes a bigger thing, right? I'm glad that he did that. And I appreciate JB doing that because something has got to be done. That's not right. What can you do? I don't know. And maybe I'm making a mountain out of a molehill and just, but that kind of stuff is just, I have no patience for that. I have no acceptance of that. Oh man, it angers me. I want those people found. And it's not throw them in jail or whatever. I just want people to know. Okay? I want your employer to know. I want your family to know. Your friends to know that you're a piece of crap. That's it. That's it. You know, and some of the media, again, it's probably more like social media when sometimes the players put it out and you go to that profile and just, you know, businesses do that now. They search your social media. They find out who you are. I just want that little note in there. Oh, you're thinking about hiring little Johnny over here. Do you know he sent some racist messages to a football player? Just take that as you will. Okay. Oh, you know, this guy works for your company over here. Did you know that he called JB Bickerstaff and threatened to kill him? Okay. Take that information for what you will. That's all I ask. That's all I ask. Nothing will probably happen of it, unfortunately.
I doubt it.
But that is just a sad state of things, man. I cannot, and trust me, I've had bad beats on a bet, and I've been angry over it. Never would I have ever thought to send a message to somebody like that.
Matt, what do you think your biggest bad beat was? I'm trying to think of mine.
I had one last week that was it was a 4-leg parlay, and I just needed Donovan. First game Donovan came back, and it was again like I think $10 to win 110. Okay, and I needed Donovan Mitchell to finish with 15 points. He scored 14.
Oh, I remember that.
He scored 14. Okay, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, man, like, but my anger is like, well, you know, we try but. Get on social media and tell Donovan Mitchell he's like what? What? The thing is, Ryan, that was $10. $10 in my account. That doesn't matter. If I had $10,000 on it that I couldn't live off of, then you shouldn't be betting. If you're putting money in there that you shouldn't be doing, what do they always say? Put money in that you can lose. And I'm very and I'm not some expert. I'm no different than a lot of people out there. What have I done on Typico, Ryan? We've hit some bets here, been down, been up, but I bet smart. I don't put $400 on this. I think my max bet I've ever put on Typico is like $25. That's it. And you play relative of what you have.
I think the max I've ever done was 200. And it worked out.
All right, well, there you go. Well, that's how you fall into the trap there. You start going, all right, well, if I bet this, then I'll win it again and all that.
That was like, that wasn't recent, though.
The sad thing again, I just don't know if anything will change or anything will be done with that. Can they investigate that? Can they? Is there anything? I don't know. I just heard that, and I think that just sucks. I think that's so bad. All right, Ryan, let's do this. So let's remind people about Typico. Do you have Otani coming up in the morning update? Can you bring that up? I think that's another very interesting story talking about betting coming up. So let's get to that. Let's bring our squares back up. If you want to jump at our square, and okay, wait. I want to find, because Gus is tweeting. Okay. Here's an interesting part to our squares. So you see our squares right here. And by the way, they're filled in already. This is just a blank template. Gus asked, can I do 5 separate $5 bets? Dave said, you're good. So it's not even just you want to do a chunk of $25. If you show a bet slip, just like Gus, of 5 different $5 bets, Dave just put Gus in. So here's what you do. Whatever. Bet $25 on games today and on Typico, and you will get into our square challenge for some bonus bets coming up with Typico. So there you go. You don't want to do 25 all in one? We are going to allow 5 different or whatever combination. You want to do a 10 and a 15, that's fine. Just screenshot your bet slip, send it to Reflog, and we'll take care of you there, and we'll get you in the bracket or in the square. Ryan, when you're picking squares, where do you like to pick? Because usually you get to fill in your own. Do you like top right, middle?
Well, it just depends where the numbers are.
Well, the thing is, a lot of squares that I fill out, you don't see the numbers.
But that's the thing with basketball; it's a whole different level because if you get
in football, you want 7, 3, 0, things like that.
In football, you get screwed with a 2. You're sitting here rooting for a safety.
Right.
But in basketball, I mean, you could score 1 point off free throw. You can do so. That's the beauty of doing this in March Madness.
Yeah, it is a lot
that
of fun.
Every single square you get, you have a legitimate chance to win.
It is a lot of fun. So, again, check it out on Twitter. We're up at Reflog, at Matt Fontana Show, retweeted everywhere. We got to get this rolling. I think I saw the updated updated squares. And there's quite a few that are filled in. So if you want to get in, just follow us on Twitter, get your bets in. Folks, Big Play's where it at. John Fanta with Chico, I saw that, which was great. He was already on the Big Play Cleveland show. Big Play Cincinnati show has been rocking. We got everything for it. I joined Bruce last night on bonus time, which was always a lot of fun. Check it out, folks. Big Play, bigplay.com for our merch, which is really starting to take off a little bit this year as well.
I'm still working on getting Lad McConkey on the show.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to try my best.
I would very much appreciate that if you got it, man. Ryan has this thing about Lad McConkey. He loves it. There's always great guests on Come Get Some. The Big Play Cleveland show always has fantastic guests. It's everywhere that you need, folks, and it's the content you want. They did a special edition of Big Play Big Bets last night with Dave and Nick to get ready to go for the tournament. Folks, bigplay.com. Follow us on Twitter. You'll see all the shows retweeted there. We're down in Cincinnati. Bobby Carpenter had Cade Stover on.
Yeah.
I saw that. Josh Perry and Bobby Carpenter with his show. They had Cade Stover on.
James Rapine and Andrew Fox Miller. They just had Orlando Brown on.
Oh, nice.
In the, Enter the Jungle.
Yeah, and did you see they signed Trent Brown? They got two tackles that are 6 foot freaking 8 down there in Cincinnati.
Woo.
They're signing some big boys down there. We got all the insight. We got it all. And expansion this year. I can't tell you where we're going next.
By the way, the Browns just tweeted a whole absolutely hilarious
Jones
video.
Yeah.
DeJuan Jones basketball.
Could you imagine trying to defend him in high school, by the way?
Absolutely
Holy cow. Holy cow. That was a great tweet. We got some big things coming with Big Play, too. That's a bad pun, but it just kind of is what it is. Not only, actually a new city that we'll get into, the app is coming. We're going to have an app. It's going to be super easy. You can download it, put it wherever you want, and catch all of our content. Big Play is where it's at. All right, morning update when we return. We got to talk about this Ohtani situation. Back into the Browns, Cavs, tournament action. Stay with us. Fontana Show right here on Big Play.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone. And at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today. All right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
Our morning update, Ryan's got the Shohei Ohtani thing, and I got accused of victim shaming last night when I sent a tweet about Shohei Ohtani.
Matt, that's so funny you say that because as soon as I saw that tweet, I knew you were gonna get flack for it. I knew somebody was gonna take it out of key and be mad about it. As soon as I saw it, I knew it.
All right, I'm gonna save that for our Ohtani discussion. Your friend is stealing millions of dollars from you and you don't notice? Something's up. We'll talk about it coming up. Morning update. If you're new, stories we got to know. It's on a Thursday. Tournament is here. Ryan, take it away.
Alrighty, well, the Browns added some running back depth yesterday as they signed journeyman Foreman, coming from most recently the Chicago Bears. Matt, I believe it's just a depth move, but some people think it might be a little foreshadowing of Nick Chubb's future here for the Cleveland Browns.
Well, and the other thing, a lot of people connected that Foreman and Deuce Staley have a history where Deuce really wanted him in Carolina. He's here now. Makes a lot of sense, and it fills a role. He is the Kareem Hunt battering ram, short yardage. The Browns, I do think, unlocked that role. That was an important role for Kareem Hunt. Now, your starting back might get pissed off. You get inside the 5, you're coming out of the game. You're going to turn it over to this guy, but you got to score. There's a body type to be had. I would say Foreman fits that body type. I need 3 yards on third down. He's going to run up Wyatt Teller's butt and pick up the 3 yards. It's a roll. You need that.
It reminds me, remember the Indianapolis Colts game? We won on 4th down at the goal line. Kareem Hunt punched that in.
Kareem Hunt, man. It's a role to be had. I think he's filling that. I try not to read any more into the future of Nick Chubb. Now, our question is up this morning, asking everybody, do you believe that this will be Nick Chubb's last year with the Browns? 60-40, people say no. That's how I voted. That's how I hope.
I think that's a lot of emotional voting.
Tom, maybe contract-wise, but I'm beginning to think that last year is the last we see of him on the field. The signing of multiple backs feel that way. 6 says, I hope not. Clay, unfortunately, yes. It all started with Watson. Thank you, front office. And we got some betting tips in there from a bot. So jump on that while you can. Again, I think it's Foreman. They needed some depth. They weren't going to start the season with basically just 2 guys in Hines and Ford. Yeah, I know Pierre Strong was here. They made the move. I'm all for it. Now, what happens when Nick Chubb returns? There was conspiracy theory, Ryan, that this signing was a signal of maybe where Chubb's rehab is at. I don't know that. I can't even comment on that. I haven't seen the x-rays or the MRIs, and even if I did, I wouldn't know what to tell you. The funniest thing is, and I don't know if maybe you'll get there, I'm not putting anything on you here, but if you ever go in to see an ultrasound of your kid, like before they're born, and you're sitting there and the doctor's like, oh yeah, this is their kidneys or something. And I go, looks like a blob to me. Oh, hey, this is their, I don't know, their head circumference is good. Great, looks like another blob to me. What's that gray blob mean versus that gray blob? I don't know. Great, awesome. You could hand me Nick Chubb's MRIs and X-rays, and I'd be like, looks good to me. I don't know. I can't buy into any of that. Who knows? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll see, but I hope Nick Chubb is here for the future. We'll see.
All right, well, the Cavaliers dropped one to the Miami Heat last night, 107-104. Terry Rozier with 2 huge three-pointers there. But once again, Matt, they were without Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Max Strus. The Cavs are back in action on Friday against the number 1 seed in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Somebody brought this up, I think maybe even on the broadcast, or I can't remember where I saw it. Like Terry Rozier's games against the Cavs. So in his career, he's played 25 games. He averages 18 points a game against the Cavs. Let me look at this up real quick. Is that the most in his career? I'm trying to search. Dude, remind me this the next time Terry Rozier comes to town. He averages 17.9 points per game against the Cavs. That is the most against any team in his career. Now, I wish I could do the career splits on venue, because I'd love to know what he's doing at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Because they brought up, he's had 40-point games, 30-point games. Terry Rozier shows up, and I know it's like it is homecoming. He played at Shaker Heights, but I think he was born in Florida or something, but then he came to Shaker Heights. Anyway, regardless. I mean, he hit that dagger 3 at the end. You kind of knew that game was over. Up until then, when I look at that game, it just seems to be, again, missed possessions, missed things. The Cavs scored 18 points in the third quarter. They just go through these lulls where they don't score. And I guess you maybe give credit to the defense, but I think that is maybe where you miss Donovan Mitchell more than anything. When you're in this lull, give him the basketball and get the hell out of the way. And get a bucket. When you watch games, we all see it. For the opponent and us, where you go, this is a crucial possession here. And you just need a bucket. And it's like, run a play that is set, get it to Allen, something. And the Cavs just don't seem to do it. Their late game, I say antics for lack of a better term, I don't feel like they're closing games out well. And they've had some remarkable, miraculous wins. I'm talking more about the last 2-minute execution. And I don't know if I see it. Is Donovan Mitchell enough just to fix all of that? I guess time will tell.
Matt, we are just 1 week away from the Guardians season opener.
Can you believe
out
it?
there in Oakland, Matt, a 10:05 first pitch. Gonna be a long night if we're gonna watch that whole game, but I'm excited. Hopefully gonna get started on the right track there against a pretty bad Oakland team.
Yeah, and the thing is with the guards, we always seem to be they start us like in Seattle.
Yeah, Seattle last year.
And I do appreciate baseball having half a brain. Don't start us at home. It's probably going to snow. Now, this year, they need to finish up the stadium stuff, which I get. But yeah, why do we not start in Florida? Why don't we start against the Rangers? Why don't you go play somewhere? I get that they want division games. I don't want to go to Detroit. The weather's the same there as it is here. Start us in warm places and then bring the other teams here in June and July. Whatever, I digress. Yeah, hopefully you should get off to a nice start. The question with the Guardians are some of these positional battles, and they have, I think, a little bit of a surplus, maybe in some outfielders. I know they're going to send Delauder down. They already sent Manzardo down. Your pitching rotation's pretty set, a couple of moves in the bullpen. I just say that to say this. Remember that Colin Cowgill was an opening day right fielder for the Guardians Indians not too many years ago. Your lineup changes in a couple of weeks. Guys come off of the injury. You move some people around, service time, whatever. The opening day lineup will not always be the same. I'm interested on the outfield. I think that there's two kind of positions for me that I'm going to watch. Outfield, which I know is 3 positions. You got Quan, but like Straw in center, Florial is one. Then the right fielder, Freeman, De Los Santos, whatever. And then shortstop. Rocchio and Gabriel Arias. There's been scuttlebutt. Do they slide over Andres Jimenez there if they need to? Those are the interesting early season ones. And then the rotation. I need to see Bieber come back. I want to see Tristan McKenzie do all right to start. I feel pretty good about the start. You only need 4 usually in the beginning of the season anyway. But we'll see. I'm excited, dude. It's like the fandom in me in a way. I love when I have a game to watch at night. Like watching the Cavs last night, I'll probably dabble in some college basketball tonight. My Jackets play tomorrow, the Blue Jackets. But I love baseball. I know 10 o'clock sucks, but I just love being able to sit down and watch a ball game at night. Sit down with my son and watch it if it's, the 6:05 start during the week, which I like. I'm all for it. So I'm excited, dude. I can't wait. Hope maybe the Guardians can shock some stuff, man. We play in the crappiest crap division in baseball. Shock the world, man. Let's see what we can do with it. I'm all for it. Let's go.
All right, Matt. We'll end the morning update on a story that captivated the sports world yesterday. Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani, apparently his translator was fired after potentially stealing upwards of $4 million, Matt. And you had a tweet that some people didn't take kindly
So
to.
I sent a tweet with the Popeyes kid, which is one of my favorite gifs, where he just sits there and he just looks like this, and it's like, uh-oh. Here's the Ohtani thing. So he has his interpreter. Mizuhara is his last name. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his first name. Mizuhara. So he came in not only as the interpreter, but there was reports that this guy was his trainer and a good buddy of his. A lot of these star players, like any of us, Ryan, you have an entourage. I have an entourage. They're my friends. A lot of them watch this show. They suck. Anyway. They're my friends, right? So when he gets this job, he would bring in Mizuhara. He's my interpreter. He's my confidant. He's my friend. He's my trainer. All this other kind of stuff. So then it comes out on a federal probe into this illegal bookmaker out in California that this guy's name came up. and that he was spending millions of dollars betting with this illegal bookmaker. Well, the initial reaction is going to be Shohei Ohtani's betting illegally. He's giving it to his friend as the mediary on this, the fall guy, and you could bet illegally here. But now Ohtani comes and goes, no, wait a minute. Wait. He stole this money from me. Then the story takes a turn with Mizuhara, who initially said that Ohtani was helping him to pay down his gambling debts. Then he flips and goes, no, the money was stolen. And then in his final meeting with the team, he goes, he has a crippling gambling addiction, don't you think? Spending millions of dollars? I'm sorry that Shohei Ohtani got his millions of dollars stolen. I think he'll be doing just fine. And this guy will go to jail if he really did. My only question is, how does your interpreter, even your friends, have access to your money? My good buddies watch this show. Pat, Paul, and Caleb. They don't have access to my money. They don't. As much as they might think they do, they don't. Ryan, do you have access to my money? To my Venmo?
You want to give it to me?
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Send me some shirt payments like Connor Stallions?
Yeah, exactly, right? It's not like he went into his wallet and was stealing hundreds. Do you think Shohei Ohtani carries around millions of dollars he stole? How did he get the money? How did he get the money? Now, if this is, I'll give you an out on this. What if Ohtani is training, his phone is sitting on the desk, and this guy knows his passcode, gets in there, and starts moving money around?
Start selling himself?
Well, then I start asking Ohtani, how did your money people, how did your accountant not go, dude, somebody just transferred $100,000? And I guess if you have that much money, maybe, but I'd be pissed at my money people. How did you not recognize this? Something's not working for me on this. And I'm not out to make Shohei Ohtani out to be some villain or that he's betting or not. The whole story has not been told yet. And maybe I'm not getting, am I victim shaming here on Shohei Ohtani? Are you joining me on this, Ryan? Something's
not adding up, and
something's not working.
We'll get him hopefully a clear picture in the next coming days and or weeks.
I want to find the name of the guy, the bookmaker. Matthew Bauer of Orange County was a bookmaker. His name reportedly surfaced in a federal investigation along with Ohtani. The Times reported the investigation into the matter caused Ohtani's lawyer to look into the situation and discover the alleged theft. In order to gamble with Bauer, Mizuhara stole the money. Bauer's home was raided by federal agents last year. Again, last year, just now. The same prosecutors have been investigating a large gambling operation in that area, one that even roped in former Dodgers player Yasiel Puig. And a spokesman for the Burke Broader Law, whatever. The course of responding to recent media inquiries, we've discovered that Shohei has been the victim of a massive theft, and we're turning the matter over to the authorities. The lawyer for the guy did say that Bauer, the bookmaker, the bookie, he has never met, spoke, or texted or contacted in any way Shohei Ohtani. Maybe I don't know. I shouldn't do that, but I don't know. It just seems too fishy. And there is like the allure of gambling, right? You have these players in football that can't turn away from it. And football's even had to change their rules on, you could bet on other sports. You just can't do it at the facility. You can't do it on the way to a game. There's a hook. And that's why people, again, we're talking about this JB Bickerstaff situation, have crippling gambling addictions. And you please get help. Please. 1-800-GAMBLER. Because the recreation is the fun part of it. And I will say this, Ryan, I hope I don't ever cross over to that side. But if I do, I'm going to get help. Because I would never give up just having fun and throwing $5 on a game. Now, when you're talking about hundreds of millions of dollars for a guy that makes that, maybe he wants a little more skin in that game. I'm fine betting my $10. I'm fine with that. But it's just, Mizuhara said, obviously Ohtani wasn't happy about it, and he said he would help me out to make sure I never do this again. He decided to pay it off for me. I wanted everyone to know Shohei had zero involvement in betting. I wanted people to know that this was that I want people to know I did not know that this was illegal. I learned my lesson the hard way. I will never do sports betting again. That's initially what he said. Then he changed his story, claiming Ohtani had no knowledge of his gambling debts and had never transferred money to the bookmaker's associate. So maybe Mizuhara was telling the truth, being like, it's not that bad for Ohtani. He was going to help me out with this, and I made a mistake. And then they realized, no, man, you're indicting Ohtani in this. And then he changed, wait, he actually never knew. I find that hard to believe. I really do. And maybe Ohtani was doing the heart of gold thing. Hey, man, here's a friend of mine. He needs some help. I'm going to get him out of this. Let me ask you this, Ryan. And you and I are not circuit judges here. We're not the Supreme Court. Is there anything wrong with that? Let's play it out that the first thing really happened. Mizuhara, who's his friend, had a crippling gambling addiction, and he had gambling debts. And Shohei Ohtani said, I'll bail you out. I'm going to give you this money. I don't necessarily need it back, but get out of this and don't do it anymore. Is there anything really wrong with that?
Legally, no.
But this was an illegal book. That's where I think it's getting caught up here. It's the illegal book. So Ohtani, in a way, even though he was paying off his gambling debts for his friend, he was transferring money to an illegal bookmaker.
I can see where it gets a little black.
Again, on the human side of it, you would be like, all right, what's so bad about that? He wasn't placing bets. He was just helping his friend. But you still were giving money to a bookie, an illegal bookie, which I'm shocked are still a thing. Download the Tipico app, man.
Yeah.
Just download apps. I don't know what to tell you. But you got to pay taxes on that. And bookies, maybe not.
Well, it's not illegal, Matt.
The Immaculate Grid. All right, let's go. Here we go. We've had some bad days here on the Immaculate Grid. Today's the day to turn it around, though. Got to go up and down. Got to go left and right. 9 minutes for us, Ryan. Our last statistical category, please.
3,000-yard passing season.
Sorry. Do you get these text messages from people that go, I just got a text from somebody that said, I'm sorry if I'm being rude. I'm positive I can do this shortly and seamlessly. They're trying to buy my house. Or how do you get my phone number?
Who knows?
So I reported him for spam. And now I delete it. Good. Anyway, all right, let's get to it. All right, I'm going to start. I'm sorry, what was the last one? I'm not even paying attention. The last statistical category?
3,000-yard passing season.
Okay. All right. You good?
Yeah.
You're good. I'm good. All right, here we go. Timer's up. Go. Minnesota, Kirk Cousins. Yeah, Kirk Cousins.
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler was where I was going to go.
And he didn't play for the Saints.
No, he didn't play for any of those teams.
Yeah, Jay Cutler's had to have.
Oh, 3,000-yard passing season? I mean, I would, because here's the thing. What other Bears quarterback would you think? Jim Harbaugh, I think, had a year where he went off.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be. Just click it. Okay. And then Seattle, might as well go Russ. I think Geno's had one, but you might as well just go with Russ on that. All right.
Where do you want to start?
A couple places that we can start.
Let's just rip Seahawks and Rams. Bobby Wagner.
Bobby Wagner's a good one. I feel like Seahawks Saints, there's somebody that just came instantly to mind for me. It wasn't a running back. Oh, man. You want to know who I instantly thought it was? Josh Gordon, because he played for the Seahawks, but I don't think he ever played for the Saints. Who am I missing with the Saints? There's somebody that I feel like just flipped. The Saints always get us on this for some reason. All right, let's figure some. We'll move on to some other ones here. All right, let's go. There's got to be some quarterbacks for some of these teams, right? That have kind of filled out here. Bears, Saints, Vikings, Saints. Did Adam Troutman go to the Bears? I feel like he did.
I know he's on the Saints. I don't know if he went to the Bears, though.
Am I getting him and Cole Kmet confused?
Cole Kmet never played for the Saints.
No, I know he didn't, but I'm saying Adam Troutman, I feel like, played for the Bears. Was on appointed for the Bears. All right, put that aside for a second. There's got to be some legacy players too that I'm not thinking of.
All right, let's just start at the top. Vikings, Rams.
All right, Vikings, Rams. Okay. All right.
Oh, no, I'm tripping.
What? Hey, just say names. We got to start just getting the juices flowing here. Got to get some juices flowing here. Tyrod Taylor. Any of those two other teams? He played for the Saints. No. Andy Dalton. No. Nick Mullins. Vikings. Any of those other two squads. Did he play for the Rams? I thought he did.
Who?
Nick Mullins?
I don't know, man.
I don't think so. Deontay Foreman's got to be on one of these. Played for the Bears.
I don't think you played for the Saints or Rams, though.
Did you look up those teams earlier? All right, nothing's clicking there for you?
No.
We were talking about Toby Gearhart earlier.
He never played for the Bears or Vikings, right?
I don't think so. Or Seattle. I don't think so. We're talking about Toby Gearhart. He got drafted by the Vikings.
Oh, am I tripping, or did Jimmy Graham play here for the Seahawks?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Go with that one. Jimmy Graham's good. That's a good call. Yes, Jimmy Graham works. Very much so. Okay, good job. All right, now we're just kind of off the shot a little bit here. All right, Bears. The Bears. Ditka? He coached the Saints. I don't know if he ever played for the Saints. Yeah, it's tough because I keep thinking about him as a coach now. All right. DJ Moore, no. He was only played for the two spots. Oh, man. Kyle Orton. Bears. I don't know about the Rams. I don't know about the Saints. Again, wide receivers. Brandon Marshall? No.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. Man, I know. It's a tough one, man. Matt Forte?
Did he play for?
I don't know. Rams? Maybe? All right, let's try to go Vikings here because we got nothing on the Bears. This is going to be a tough one, man. We're halfway through. What are some... All right, Josh Johnson, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't think he works for any of these. I really don't. Maybe Bears Saints, maybe for Fitzpatrick. Josh Johnson. I don't know, man. Josh McCown. Oh, McCown, Bears Saints. Josh McCown, Bears Saints.
No.
What?
This is already cooked.
Oh, my God. I got to Google Josh McCown. Just got to see. There's no way. All right, I'm diverting. We got to focus in here, man. Vikings Saints. I know there's going to be one that I'm just going to scream from the mountaintops that we missed. That we just... Oh, my God. Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. You played for the Saints, right?
I think so. At this point, might as well let it rip.
Yeah.
Tilted. We're so tilted right now. This is bad. Famous, good defensive backs for any of those teams. Eddie Jackson. I feel like Deshaun Gibson, former Brown. I think he played for the Bears, but I don't think he went to either one of those other spots. Vikings, Rams. Damn, man. Damn. Getting smoked here.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
I'm brain locked on this right now. Like, all right, Rams players from the Odell Beckham, Van Jefferson,
Tutu Atwell.
Who are the running backs for them? Todd Gurley? He never went to either one of those spots.
Eric Dickerson ever play anywhere?
Eric Weddle? Did Weddle play for the Bears? I don't think so. I don't think so. No. Oh, man. There's got like I'm kind of shocked we're at this point without the quarterbacks to the right, but without any quarterbacks to fill in here.
Tony Michelle didn't play for the Vikings or Bears.
No. Again, I would maybe rip Kyle Orton, Bears, Saints. No. Damn, man. All right.
Dante Culpepper playing
for the Rams? I don't think so. Randy Moss never played for the Rams.
No, not that I know.
No, I don't think so.
Kurt Warner? No, he didn't play for them.
No, he didn't play for any of those other teams. All right, I'm calling it. We're brain locked out, man. Give it up. Damn it. All right.
Where do you want to start?
Start Bears. Bears, Saints. Not many?
Andy Dalton. I don't remember him on the Bears.
Oh, I do.
Trevor Siemian.
Yeah.
That's about it, though. Like.
All right. Do they have linemen on that? Can you scroll down and see linemen?
Ted Ginn Jr. He did play for the Bears.
Oh, he did?
Damn.
Miss on our part, man. Miss on our part. All right, go Bears. Bears, Rams.
Orlando Pace. Robert Quinn.
Oh, yeah, Robert
Nick
Quinn.
Foles.
We got to remember Nick Foles in this, too. Well-traveled.
That's about it for that.
Okay. All right.
This was a tough one.
Yeah, final one, Vikings, Rams. Top left.
Sam Bradford, Case Keenum.
Oh, yeah.
Cam Akers, duh. Damn.
All right. I feel like we got to we're in a bad spot right now. We're in a bad spot. We got to turn it back around a little bit. So, all right, we'll see. All right, let's do this. Let's catch our break. We come back. We'll get to time up. We're going to remind you about our squares with Tipico. We'll get ready for tournament action. We'll revisit our Browns question. We get a little Cavs. We got it all to mix it in just a little bit. Back right after this.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Welcome to Big Play, a sports media team that started back in 2014, and now we're not in a garage. Look at us, incorporating some of Cleveland's favorite sports personalities, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland. Coming to you live from the shores of Lake Erie and Burke Lakefront Airport, join Team Big Play for all the best sports talk in Ohio. Check us out on social media at Big Play, bringing you fun and compelling content from downtown Cleveland.
Anthony Schlegel, just how physical he was. You saw the girth and the power and everything he was bringing to the table, especially when he was a nice beefy 255 playing middle linebacker.
We were called soft last year. You don't want to be soft, especially when you come to the playoffs. So that's going to be a process throughout this season of establishing us as a harder team here in the
How does an Ohioan build the perfect parlay?
Who's got something? Big guys looking for long odds. The kids in Columbus are covering better than anyone. And at even odds. If it's even, I'm leaving. Listen, our championship DVD starts today. All right? Dude, I just got an invite to a Cincy playoff watch party. Shut up. Cincy, State, Cleveland, the perfect parlay. I'm a genius.
For the best odds on Ohio sports, bet with your cojones.
It is Spanish, dummy.
Bet with Typical Sportsbook.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
You know, one of my favorite things about doing Time Hop is not only how you revisit things, but things that eventually did happen a time later. And Ryan, that's what we do today. Here on the 21st of March, we go back just 1 year ago today. And I tweeted out that I'd be okay giving up 42 and a player for Jerry Jeudy. Just a year later, a 5 and a 6. It worked out. But I also said I thought the Browns were going to get it done last year. I'll tell you this. I know the Browns pushed really hard last year. And they also did again at the trade deadline. Jerry Jeudy seems to be their guy. I don't know, something about it. They were trying to get him and eventually found the deal that worked out. Now, thankfully, they didn't have to give up 42 and a player. But you were able to get to your guy eventually. There's something about Jerry Jeudy they like, and I hope their evaluation is correct. There was also a report 1 year ago today the Browns were not interested in DeAndre Hopkins. We had famous battles on that. I didn't want Hopkins. I didn't think he was going to be worth the money. Rather have Jerry Jeudy. Now you got him.
Well, we still got a very valuable D-Hop at the end of it.
That is true. Got the right one in Dustin Hopkins. Maybe his extent. I think they want to see him kick this year. Get a little extension there for Dustin Hopkins. Going to be needed. I never made sense a lot with me, DeAndre Hopkins. We'll see. We go back 6 years ago today. Albert Breer, mock draft going into the Browns at 1-4. He said the Browns would trade, or I'm sorry, here's how it goes. In Albert Breer's mock, we take Darnold 1, trade Denver the 4th pick, they take Baker, and we take Saquon Barkley at 5. Denzel Ward goes 13 to Washington in this mock. Worked out. Worked out. We'll see. This day, 2012, Sean Payton was suspended 1 year for Bountygate. Obviously Greg is here with us and all the whatever. They paid their fine, they paid their dues, whatever. We move on from it. This day, 2006, Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey sent the first tweet ever, which was, quote, just setting up my TWTTR. TWTTR is what he thought the acronym would be. Now it's X. Everybody still calls it Twitter. It's got to be surpassed by TikTok, right, for the most popular social media outlet?
Probably.
Let me Google that real quick. Most popular social media. Wow. All right. This is from, what would you like, Buffer or datareport.com? I don't know. All right, I'll click on the first one. That's what came up. These are, okay, the most popular social media platforms as far as users, active monthly users. Facebook has over 3 billion active users. YouTube, 2.5 billion. WhatsApp, 2 billion. Instagram, 2 billion. TikTok, 1.5 billion. X, 619, and they're doing this by, like, X, their last reported potential advertising reach was 619 million, but they stopped publishing ad data. So we don't exactly know where it's at. Snapchat, 750 million active monthly users. So Facebook, it's 3 billion, a little over 3 billion monthly active users on Facebook. Huh. That's crazy. And again, Meta owns 3 of the top 6, according to this. So good job, Zuckerberg. We continue on this day, 1980. Ryan, if I said the words, who shot JR?
Dallas.
That cliffhanger aired this day, 1980, of who shot JR.
Who ended up shooting him?
Wasn't it the mistress?
I don't know.
Spoiler alert! I think it was his mistress. Who shot JR? Okay. The final scene of the 79 to 80 season, J.R. Ewing hears a loud noise outside his office, walks out to the corridor to look, and is shot twice by an unseen assailant, which again broadcast this day, 1980. Viewers had to wait all summer to find out if JR would survive and which of his many enemies were responsible. JR was a villain on the series who was regularly seen double-crossed by business associates, plotted against his own family, and called his wife a word that I can't say on the air, and had her committed to a sanatorium, whatever it is, so he could win custody of their son. Essentially, all the characters on the show were seen as suspects. Ultimately, the episode Who Done It, which aired on November 21st, so you had to wait from this day until November 21st, to find out the person who pulled the trigger, was revealed to be Kristen Shepard, JR's scheming sister-in-law and mistress, who shot him in the fit of anger. JR did not press charges because he obviously survived, and Kristen claimed she was pregnant with their child as a result of their affair. So that's right, it was his mistress and scheming sister-in-law who ended up shooting JR. But you found that out you found out who shot JR this day 1980. This day 1964, UCLA finished their season 30-0, winning the national championship, and it would be the first of John Wooden's 10 national championships. This day 1964 streak you'll never see again, I hope ever again. This day 1963, Alcatraz closed its door. Have you seen the movie Escape from Alcatraz?
Very good movie.
Very good flick.
Is that Clint Eastwood?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Young Fred Ward of Tremors fame. God, who is the guy that played Charlie Butts? Because I know him from The Cop and Home Alone. You know Charlie Butts in that?
I know The Cop in Home Alone is Al Pacino.
No.
Yeah, it is. Or not Al Pacino, I mean,
no, Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci,
No, not that cop.
The other one?
The cop when the family calls in from France, and they go, we're trying to get a hold of our son. And he goes, Sergeant Balzac was his name.
Balzac.
Yeah, that's right. Escape from Alcatraz. Here we go. 7.6 out of 10 on IMDb. I think it should be a little bit higher, to be honest with you. That's fine. Patrick McGowan as the warden. Good one on that. Here you go. Roberts Blossom was Doc. What else did he do? He was famous for something else. Roberts Blossom, Escape from Alcatraz, Close Encounters. No, that's it. He played the old man. So you had two tie-overs from Escape from Alcatraz to Home Alone. Roberts Blossom played the old man Marley. And then he was also Doc in Escape from Alcatraz. He was also in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Fred Ward was John Anglin. Larry Hankin played Charlie Butts. And then known for Barry, Breaking Bad. He was in 2 episodes. El Camino. And then again, a couple other things. But Larry Hankin, yes. But Alcatraz, the actual place closed. You ever see that video too? I know you play Call of Duty like I do. This girl and her boyfriend go on the tour of Alcatraz, and the guy's just calling everything out because he knows the map from Call of Duty.
Mob of the Dead. Yeah. Oh my God, that's my favorite all-time map.
That. Or Resurgence too. I mean, you used to play Resurgence on the small map there. That was Alcatraz. The first NCAA championship game this day, 1959. California beat Virginia 71-70. Jerry West had 28 points in that loss for West Virginia on that. Here's a very important one in the city of Cleveland. Do you know about the Moondog Coronation Ball?
No.
Happened this day, 1952. It was considered the first ever rock and roll concert. Paul Williams, Tiny Grimes, The Dominoes, and Moondog all at this coronation ball. Because you know about Moondog, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the term rock and roll, that's why the Hall of Fame is here. Moondog, I don't know if people know, that's why he's the mascot for the Cavs. Well, the first ever Moondog coronation ball was held this day, 1952. I think they still do like an honoring of it every year, I'm pretty sure. But it was this day, 1952. Very happy birthday goes out to a very famous Cavs draft pick in Vitaly Potapika. Why is he very famous for being drafted by the Cavs, Ryan?
Well, I've never heard of him, so I'm assuming he was bad.
It's not that he was necessarily bad. It's that he was drafted in 1996 with the 12th overall pick. Would you dare guess who was the 13th overall pick?
What year is this?
1996.
96.
Out of Lower Marion High School.
Kobe Bryant?
That is correct. He very famously was known as the guy the Cavs took one pick before. How about this draft? Can I get you the 1996 draft for a second for the NBA? Allen Iverson goes number 1. Marcus Camby goes 2. Sharif Abdul-Rahim goes 3. Stephon Marbury 4. Ray Allen goes 5. Antoine Walker goes 6. Again, we took Potapico at 12. Kobe Bryant goes 13. Peja Stojakovic goes 14. Steve Nash goes 15. Jermaine O'Neal 17. Cavs took Zydrunas Ilgauskas at 20. Derek Fisher was in that first round. Man, what a draft that was. Out of that, you have 4 Hall of Famers. AI, Allen, Kobe, and Steve Nash. And a personal favorite of mine growing up in Peja Stojakovic. I love those Kings teams, man. But sorry. Happy birthday to Vitaly. Adrian Peterson's birthday.
Wow, what are the odds?
What are the odds? Carlos Carrasco, I'm so happy that he's back. I hope he gets that 5th spot. I think he will. Rosie O'Donnell, Gary Oldman, Scott Eastwood, Clint's son, Matthew Broderick, and the late great Mr. Eddie Money. Give me some water. You know that jam from Eddie Money? It's a good one. Listen to it on the way home. God.
Tickets to Paradise? Is that
2
him?
Tickets to Paradise. Trying to 2 Tickets to Paradise. Take Me Home Tonight. Shakin'. Baby Hold On. Give Me Some Water. Oh. Eddie Money, I'll put him up against anybody, to be honest with you. I will. There's a really funny Drew Carey episode, too. You know the show Drew Carey's based in Cleveland. So Mimi was going to marry Steve, Drew's brother. And they go to the courthouse and they go, Mimi, you can't get a marriage license. You're already married. And they find out that she drunkenly one night got married to Eddie Money.
Wow.
And he came in for an episode because they had to get divorced and everything. It's one of my favorite episodes of the Drew Carey show. But yeah, man, Eddie Money. Yeah, Take Me Home Tonight, Shakin', Baby Hold On, 2 Tickets to Paradise. I'm going to crank some Eddie Money on the way home.
There you go.
Just in honor of his birthday here today. All right, 2 movies and a TV show for you today.
Okay.
So here we go. These are all in the 90s. And actually, the 2 movies came out on the very same day.
Oh.
You want 1 or 2 to start?
Let's go 1.
1 it is. All right, so this day, 1997. This is a biographical film about an extremely famous singer that very unfortunately lost her life at an early age. She was known as the queen of the type of music that she sang.
Aretha Franklin?
No, good guess. Queen. But she did not lose her life at an early age. She lived to a very old.
Okay. Did this person die of an accident?
It was not like she was sick. She was killed. She was murdered.
Murder.
And this is a big part. Watching this movie, this scene of, unfortunately, her murder is a bit of a, I don't want to say shocking, but it's like an emotional scene.
Murdered, really?
The actress that played this person in this film is a very famous actress, and some feel like this was her real breakout role in a way.
A musician that was murdered?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I know this.
You want the actress?
Yeah.
You think it helped? Jennifer Lopez.
Jennifer Lopez?
Right. In 1997, played this.
So she was a Latina?
Yes, Tejano music star. They called her the queen of that. It was the name of the movie. She was very well known for just her name. Shot and killed by her manager, who was stealing money.
I have no idea.
You've never heard of Selena?
No.
Never? Really?
Nope.
Wow. Selena.
No, I never heard.
So again, I think she was 23 years old when she was killed. So I'll try to make a comparison. She was like kind of like Britney Spears, right? Where she was like 18 years old, 19 years old, and she was a star. She just, blew up. She was the face. She was all that. And Yolanda Salvador was her like manager. She like hired like a friend that was like signing up, like trying to make like shops and boutique, and she was stealing money. Selena supposedly was going to go confront her about it, and she shot and killed her.
Wow.
Yeah. So in that movie with Jennifer Lopez, very like, I would say like traumatic, but that's the scene from Selena. This day 1997. All right. Next up, another film. This day 1997. An actor that we also just brought up this week when you had to guess about his other film. Does that ring any bells?
Dude, you know how I have such a bad memory.
I know.
I couldn't remember Ice Age.
We were talking about a comedic actor from the 90s.
Jim Carrey.
Okay, this is a Jim Carrey film.
Dumb and Dumber?
No, this is also a 2-word name of this film. His son makes a wish on his birthday.
Okay. Liar,
Liar is correct.
Good movie.
It's solid. Like, you think the Jim Carrey roles, like Dumb and Dumber, Ace Ventura for me, but I even think like The Grinch and The Truman Show, and I even like Yes Man. That was a pretty good one. Liar's like, it's there. It's not the funniest, but I think it's right there. But Liar. All right, this day 1997. All right, final one, a television show. I can almost tell you're not going to be able to get this, but I don't want to sell you short on this. This was a sitcom that started this day 1995. It included an ensemble cast. A young Joe Rogan on this show.
Really?
Yes. The late, great Mr. Phil Hartman, who unfortunately passed away while this show was still on. I think he got, I don't know if he got replaced. Stephen Root. You know Stephen Root. You see Office Space?
No.
You ever see Get Out? The new one that just came out? Anyways.
Yeah, Get Out.
He was the guy that was going to take Chris's body.
Oh, okay.
He voiced like Bill Dauterive on you know Stephen Root. If I showed you Stephen Root,
Okay.
you ever see Dodgeball?
Yeah,
Vince
yeah.
Vaughn. He's the guy with the glasses. I can't remember his name.
Oh, okay.
That guy, you know Stephen Root. He's in this. Andy Dick was in this television show as well. Maura Tierney, who's also on ER and also in Liar, was in this. And Dave Foley starred as the behind the scenes of an AM radio station.
Oh.
My parents really like this show, too.
Frasier?
No, good guess, though. He played an on-air radio psychologist, but it's not Frasier. I give you credit for a guess. That's a good guess. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. To be honest
Probably
with you.
not.
Have you heard of News Radio?
No.
No, News Radio, man. So Joe Rogan has actually talked about getting that role because he was like 25. He was like the maintenance guy. He was like the idiot maintenance guy. He was always like coming like, "Hey, bro, what's going on?" So that was Phil. That was him. Phil Hartman, who unfortunately passed away. John Lovitz was the one that had to replace Phil Hartman.
Okay.
Dave Foley played Dave Nielsen. He was the news director. Stephen Root was the owner, like crazy, like nut job, all that kind of stuff. But it was supposed to be the back end of like the theme was such a good theme, man. Do I have it? Hang on. Am I allowed to play it? Probably not. I do have the News Radio intro. Can I not play it?
Probably. I mean, who cares?
I don't want to get in trouble. Play. It's like a bunch of cars. They're going all over the place.
I've never heard of it.
It takes me back, man, because my parents loved that show. That and Cheers, the intro. there's something about News Radio, man. That was for me. So, not bad on the day there. All right, Ryan, one more time. Let's get to our square. Oh, no, we got our boost. That's right. We got our boost. Let's get to it. We got squares. We got boosts. We got it all for you today with Tipico. Ryan, basketball parlay for today. Lay it out for the people and our total for what we got.
Alrighty, well, we're starting with 2-seed Tennessee taking on old St. Peter's. Remember them with Dougie Buckets.
Done.
Minus 12.5 for them. Kentucky minus 13.5 over Oakland. That should be easy. And finally, we're doing an alternate Texas spread. 2.5.
How about Tennessee?
Oh, no, it's alternate Tennessee spread, yes. And then we're doing the straight up Texas minus 2.5 over Tennessee, Colorado State, Matt. That boosts to plus 402.
All right, I'm going. Where's our big play boost? Where is it?
So you got to go into the March Madness tab.
Oh, I do. Okay,
Yeah.
so March Madness.
And then boost, and you got to scroll down and find it a little bit. I don't think it's labeled as the big play boost because there's so damn many.
There's a lot of boosts for today, man. No, wait. No, that's another one. That's another boost that I really like here. Is it all the way at the bottom?
It's towards it. It's not labeled. That's part.
Yeah, we'll find it here. I wish we could send out the link for people so they could just get right to it. No, not that one. Alabama. Dude, there are how many
So many,
boosts
man.
are there? I had to have passed it. Damn it. Because it should be around like when the games start, right? And our first game is at 4 o'clock. No, there's a Houston Marquette, Kentucky one that I really like. Did I pass it again? Wait, what's ours? Again, so we had Tennessee, Kentucky, and Texas, right?
Yes.
That's it. Oh, I found it. Plus 405, right?
Yep.
All right, we're in. Dude, done. Boom. Right there with Tipico. Get signed up today. Use that code Fontana100. Deposit and bet $25. Then take that bet slip, screenshot it, send it to Reflog, get in for our squares, and then when your game is completed, hopefully you win, and you'll get $100 in bonus bets. I had a buddy. He just signed up. He sent me a screenshot. He bet UNC. So here's the thing. He signed up with code Fontana100. He deposited $25. He bet $25 on UNC to win. He's going to win 42 cents. But in essence, you're getting $100 for that. So he's like, listen, I'm going to bet my $25 to get a for sure win here. And then I'll get my $100 in bonus bets. And I should really text him and say, hey, then send that into our squares. Get signed up.
There you go.
You want to join our squares? Here's how it works. All you have to do is show a bet slip of $25, and we've gotten confirmation. You could do five $5 bets. You could do a $10 and a $15 bet, a $10 and a $5. Doesn't matter. You screenshot that you bet $25 on Tipico, reply to Reflog's tweets, or I really think anybody's tweets, because Dave is doing it too, on Twitter. You get a square for the entire tournament to get some bonus bets with Tipico. We're going to be handing over $600 in bonus bets with the square. You're betting already? Do it. Cashback rewards. Betting already. They take care of it for you. It's so easy. And in fact, I think with my last bet, I'm pretty close on my cashback rewards, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm working right back up on my cashback rewards with Tipico. I think I have another one. I do. Wait a minute. Wait a minute here. Oh, yeah. All right, we're good to go, man. Let's go. Tipico's the place to do it.
All right, well, let's real quick get to our bracket.
Let's get to it. Best West Side Bar.
All right, Matt, we got our final four.
Somebody yelled at you.
Why?
Because you put Around the Corner in West Park Station the same one. My wife was not happy with you yesterday, Ryan. Steph looked right at me. She goes, how did you? And I go, I don't know.
Listen,
I love Around the Corner. Yeah. Shout out to Ryan and his family, the Krivashes. They're the best. So Around the Corner advances, and I think Gunselman's very high on that.
So we have our final four
for the West
Side.
Fatheads.
PJ McIntyre, Fatheads, Around the Corner, and Gunselman.
That's a tough one. Vote at Matt Fontana Show. Drop us a follow there for the Best West Side Bar. And again, they will make it to the finals. Dude, can you believe we got downtown next week and we're done?
I know. That's crazy.
We're done. We're into it, man. We're into this with March
Downtown
Madness.
should be fun.
That's it. Enjoy the hell out of the day.
We got to pick our final four before we head off the air.
Okay,
Official.
I submitted a bracket. UNC, Tennessee, Kentucky. Who do I have coming out of the South? Or the bottom left bracket? Son of a gun. What about you?
All right, my final four. This is my official final four as we head into less than an hour in the tournament. I have, who was it? I have UConn.
Okay. Not UNC. UConn. I'm talking UConn. Sorry.
Okay.
So that would be it for me. I think I have UConn, UNC, Kentucky, and Tennessee.
That makes sense.
I think that's if I'm looking at it the right way.
My final four is UConn, Arizona, Kentucky, and Creighton. My national championship, I have Creighton beating UConn in a Big East championship.
All right. I love it. Yep. That's it. Yep. Wait, I'm going to scroll over just to make sure I got the right one. I have final four: UConn, Tennessee, Oh, that's my UConn, North Carolina, Kentucky, Tennessee. I've got a UConn-Tennessee championship with UConn taking it down.
All righty.
There it is. Get your bets in. Get with Tipico. Fontana 100. Back for a busy.
Also, real quick, my one prediction: Morehead State beats Illinois. 14
all
over
right, write
3.
that down. I have Illinois advancing far, so I certainly hope not. Want to remind everybody, follow our channels. We're doing a watch along a little bit later today with Tipico, so join up there at Big Play across all our social media platforms. Enjoy the hell out of tournament. We'll talk to you on Friday edition. For Ryan Tyler, I'm Matt Fontana. As always, take it easy.